A very good morning, viewers. It's 6 a.m. and you're watching Quick Morning with me, Deepak Suresh Kumar. Let's get you a roundup of all the top stories that's making the headlines from across the world, from across the nation, and from across various sectors as well. ISKCON Kolkata expressed hope that jailed Hindu monk Chinmay Krishnadas will receive justice in the court hearing, which is scheduled for today. ISKCON Kolkata spokesperson Radharaman Das said that the organization will hold prayers for Hindus and other religious minorities in Bangladesh. The Hindu monk will be produced before a Bangladeshi court today. He was arrested from Dhaka International Airport in connection with a sedition case, and this was filed at Chittogram on November 25th last year. Radharaman Das also said that the interim government in Bangladesh should take an appropriate legal action if there is a recurrence of threats by some advocates of beating up any lawyer representing Chinmay Das in the court. Meanwhile, Das's lawyer Rabindranath Ghosh was admitted to Seth Suklal Karnani Hospital after experiencing sudden pain at his son's house. His hospitalization came just a day before the hearing of the case in the court. BJP State President of Karnataka, B.Y. Vijayendra, met Union Home Minister Amit Shah. He requested him to intervene to resolve the factionalism in the state unit. Vijayendra met Shah to extend New Year greetings as well, and also told him about the infighting and explained him the need of centre to resolve the problems at the earliest. The leaders also touched upon the parallel anti-Waqf rallies that were planned by rebel leaders led by senior leader Basangada Patil Yatnal. Vijayendra urged Amit Shah to intervene and prevent such parallel rallies which could harm the party's interests. Following their meeting, Vijayendra also took to social media and shared the details of their discussion. A bakery owner in Delhi allegedly died by suicide amid an ongoing dispute with his wife. His body was found hanging in his house in Model Town's Kalyan Vihar. His family has demanded justice and even accused the police of delaying the investigation. The post-mortem report is expected today, which will provide more clarity on the circumstances surrounding Puneet Khurana's death. His sister has alleged that he was mentally harassed by his wife and her parents, which led to him taking the extreme step. She even revealed that the police is refusing to share Puneet's hour-long video, which he recorded and contains all the evidence of harassment. Police also said that his wife was the last person whom he contacted. His family also claimed that his wife used to record the conversation and send it to their relatives.
वजह यही थी, मनिका पावा और उसके माँ बाप, उसकी बहन ने मेरे भाई को इतना मजबूर कर दिया, इतना मेंटली स्ट्रेस दिया, इतना टॉर्चर किया, इतना हरास किया कि वो उसको इतना उकसाया बोल बोल के, तू तो फट्टू है, तू तो कुछ कर नहीं सकता, हिम्मत है तो मर जाना, जाके करके दिखाना। अब इतना उसको उकसाया। रात को 3:30 बजे फोन पे पुनीत ने वो वीडियो बना के गया रात को, जो उसके फोन में है, जो करीबन 39 मिनट के आसपास की है। जो मनिका है, उसके माँ बाप है, किस तरीके से उसने उनको इतना टॉर्चर किया, इतना हरास करा और इतना मेंटली प्रेशराइज करा है।
A 3-year-old who was trapped inside a Borewell in Rajasthan's Kotputli for 10 days died shortly after she was pulled out of there. After 5 failed attempts, the girl was rescued and was immediately shifted to a nearby hospital for medical attention, but the authorities declared her dead during the examination process. She was stuck in the 700 feet deep Borewell and had fallen inside it while playing at her father's farm. The NDRF and SDRF teams were present on the spot ever since to rescue her. Oxygen was also being supplied to the girl through a pipe, and after the initial efforts failed to pull her up, the rescue team started digging, but the tunnel they dug turned out to be in the wrong direction. Over the last few hours, neither food nor oxygen could be provided to her, and her condition became so critical that she succumbed to her injuries.
सही नहीं थी, और 3 डॉक्टर्स की टीम ने उसको एग्जामिन किया, एग्जामिनेशन अपनी फाइंडिंग्स डाली हैं। मॉर्चरी में बॉडी को शिफ्ट किया गया बच्चे के, और अब उसका बोर्ड के द्वारा, मेडिकल बोर्ड के द्वारा पीएम किया जा रहा है।
A group of priests have now announced plans to protest against Delhi government's Pujari Granthi Yojana. They labelled it as an election gimmick ahead of the Delhi Assembly polls. The protesters, who represent Various temples and religious organizations alleged that the scheme is a desperate attempt to woo voters. They even argued that the scheme, which promises a monthly honorarium of 18,000 rupees to priests and gantris, is not a genuine attempt to support the priestly community. A massive protest broke out at the girls' hostel of CMR Engineering College in Medchal in Hyderabad after students alleged that hostel staff had recorded the videos of them in bathrooms. The students demanded justice and raised slogans. They were even joined by student unions in large numbers. The police assured that a case will be launched following the complaints from the students. This incident has sent shockwaves to the college community, which many are now demanding strict action against those who are responsible. BJP leader Talwadi Narayan Swamy revealed that Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge's name was found in the suicide note written by contractor Sachin Panchal. He has accused Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah of defending Priyank Kharge by consistently saying that Priyank's name was not mentioned on the suicide note. It was instead his aide's name. Now, Narayan Swamy even said that initially everyone was doubting the 7-page suicide note written by Panchal, but now the FSL report has confirmed that the letter was written by the civil contractor himself. Congress leader Sandeep Dixit lashed out at AAP Supremo Arvind Kejriwal for writing a letter to RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. He said that on the one side, AAP calls RSS ideology anti-national, while on the other side, the Aam Aadmi Party national convener is writing letters to his opponents.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी है, हमारी प्रतिद्वंदिता राजनीतिक तौर पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी से है, तो ये आरएसएस के पास क्यों पहुंच गए? देखो, आदमी पत्र लिखता है, सवाल उनसे मांगता है जो अपने होते हैं या जिनसे डायरेक्ट कोई, जैसे बीजेपी से हमारा रिश्ता है, वो ओपोनेंट हैं हमारे, हम विपक्ष की पार्टी हैं, आम आदमी से हमारा रिश्ता है, आरएसएस से तो आपका कोई रिश्ता नहीं है, तो ये अपनापन इनको कैसे आने लगा और आरएसएस को क्यों लिख रहे हैं आप?
Viewers, let's now take a look at the top stories from the world of business. The Union Cabinet okayed the continuation of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme until 2026. IB Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw said that the Cabinet has approved the enhanced allocation with the overall outlay of 69,515 crore rupees for the scheme period. And this decision was taken in a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Additionally, the Cabinet has also approved an extra subsidy of 3,850 crore rupees for DAP fertilizers. And this scheme is said to benefit 4 crore farmers. And as per official statement, this decision will help prevent risk coverage of crops from non-preventable natural calamities for farmers across the country till the scheme time period is there. The statement also said that the funds would be used towards technological initiatives under schemes such as yield estimation system using technology, weather information and network data systems. The centre has also been making efforts at covering all the farmers in northeastern region by putting them under different schemes.
उस फसल बीमा योजना के लिए जितनी धनराशि की आवश्यकता है, आज केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल ने प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना को और मौसम आधारित फसल बीमा योजना को 2025-26 तक जारी रखने की स्वीकृति दी है, जिसमें कुल बजट 69,515 करोड़ 71 लाख रुपया होगा.
The gross GST collection saw a surge of 7.3% year-on-year to 1.77 lakh crore rupees in the month of December, despite significant increase in both domestic as well as export refunds. The total gross GST revenue grew as compared to 1.65 lakh crore in the same month a year ago. The highest ever collection was in the month of April with over 2.10 lakh crore rupees. Analysts have believed that significant increase in both domestic and export refunds indicate that the overall refund framework is now stable and its implementation is on a sound footing. The chairman of Mahindra Group, Anand Mahindra, shared the group's achievements of the last year. He lauded the group's commitment to audacity, innovation and integrity while also staying true to its core values. He also shared details about the company's focus towards sustainability, value creation for the shareholders, and also constantly innovating across the group businesses. Mahindra Group detailed its performance across various verticals, attributing its success to bold moves and forward-thinking strategies. He also shared the group's progress in sustainability, noting that for the 4th straight year, Mahindra Group has been included in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index's World Index as the highest automotive OEM. In a major update, Securities and Exchange Board of India or SEBI granted permission for the market participants to subscribe to non-convertible securities during trade window closures. This move aims to enhance flexibility in the market and also streamline the subscription process for non-convertible securities. SEBI also clarified that trading window will still apply restrictions to certain transactions like acquisitions through the conversion of warrants or debentures. The body also directed all stock exchanges to notify listed companies about the provisions and ensure that the information is made accessible on their website. Tata Consultancy Services will be announcing its quarterly results for the quarters ending December 2024. This will be announced on January 9th. Along with the quarter 3 results for financial year 2025, the IT giant also stated that the company's board of directors may decide to declare a third interim dividend during the meeting. Nishant Pitti, who was one of the promoters of Easy Trip, resigned as the CEO of the company effective immediately. He cited personal reasons for leaving the company. His brother and the CEO of the company, Rikant Pitti, has been appointed as the CEO of the company with immediate effect. Earlier, Nishant Pitti was also looking to sell his stake in the company. Ease My Trip is the brand operated by the listed Easy Trip Planner. From New Orleans to New York to Damascus and also Syria, here is the roundup of all the top international stories we are tracking. Investigators have identified the suspect in the New Orleans attack. The suspect, identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar, intentionally rammed a pickup truck into a crowd which killed 10 people and left at least 30 people injured. The driver was killed in a firefight. With the police following the attack, the FBI is now investigating the case as an act of terrorism. They are also looking into any possible associates of the suspect who may have been involved in the case. The truck that he was driving was rented, and now the FBI is working to confirm how the suspect came into the possession of the vehicle. In fact, an ISIS flag was also located in that particular truck. Police officials who found guns and pipe bombs were also found in the vehicle, and a corresponding remote control was also discovered inside the truck.
The subject has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen.
At least one person was killed and 7 others were injured when a Tesla Cybertruck that appeared to be carrying fireworks caught fire and exploded outside President-elect Trump's Las Vegas hotel. The officials said that the driver of the truck was declared dead, while 7 others had minor injuries and were transferred to hospitals. Meanwhile, Elon Musk said that Tesla is investigating the Cybertruck fire case.
So Star Trek and Elon Musk on fire. The water was just falling from the ceiling, and there was one cop that, by the time there was just one, there weren't a lot of cops anyway, so he told us to stay to the other side of the road, as we did. And there were a couple of elderlies behind me, a woman and husband, and she actually got really hurt because she was there at the moment.
In a shocking incident, an armed man killed at least 10 people, including 2 children, in the western Montenegrin city of Cetinje. police dispatched special troops to search for the attacker in that particular city. The gunman started open firing at a restaurant, after which he left the restaurant and started shooting on the street, which killed 2 children. The Prime Minister Miloš Spajek called the incident a terrible tragedy and declared 3 days of national mourning. The Prime Minister even went to the hospital where the wounded were being treated. The police have also appealed to residents to remain calm and stay indoors, ruling out a clash between criminal gangs. Parts of UK are flooded by heavy rain and powerful winds. More than 100 flood warnings have been issued across the country. Several communities in Manchester were flooded, with several homes evacuated and cars submerged up to their roofs, on roads and in parking lots after nearly a months-long rain spell. A major incident took place and rescue teams were called in to help firefighters respond to the swamped properties and stranded vehicles in Grand Manchester. So, some weather warnings for wind and ice remain in place for some places in the United Kingdom, mostly the northern region, as the forecasters say. The temperatures will plummet in the coming days. Places affected include Bolton, Didsbury, South Manchester, Harpure, North Manchester, among others. Israel's former Defense Minister Yitzhak Gallant, who was fired after clashing with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has resigned from the Israeli parliament. In an address, he said that he had been fired for his insistence on the need to end controversial exemptions from the military draft for ultra-Orthodox men. He also said that he was resigning from the Knesset, or the parliament, over the government's intention to uphold these exemptions. In early November last year, Netanyahu and Gallant were repeatedly at odds also over the war in Gaza, with Gallant pushing for a diplomatic deal that would bring back hostages, while Netanyahu called for continued military pressure on Hamas. They also clashed over the military draft issue, and military service is compulsory for most Jews, but ultra-Orthodox males receive exemptions in order to pursue religious studies. The system has generated widespread resentment among the broader public, especially since the war erupted in October 2023, forcing tens of thousands of men into months of reserve duty. Romania and Bulgaria scrapped land border controls to become full members of the European Union's Schengen free travel area. They joined an expanded bloc of 27 nations whose residents can now travel without passport checks. Both Bulgaria and Romania held ceremonies to mark their full membership, which includes years of negotiations by the Eastern European countries to join the ID check-free travel zone. The 2 Balkan countries joined the EU in 2007 but were not integrated into the borderless zone until March, when border checks were lifted from maritime and air travel. Both the governments believe that full membership will reduce the wait time at borders and significantly boost economic activity. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed victory for Lebanon and Yemen, which are considered part of Iran's self-described axis of resistance. He said that Yemen and Lebanon both are symbols of resistance and they will win. He also reiterated that the Syrian people will eventually purge the US and Israel from their country. Viewers, Iran was the #1 regional supporter of Assad, who was toppled by rebel forces in a lightning offensive last month. With the fall of Assad, Iran has lost control of the corridor of land that stretched through Iraq and Syria all the way to the Mediterranean. The Ivory Coast announced that French troops will leave the country after a decades-long military presence. It becomes the latest African nation to downscale military ties with its former colonial power. Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara said that the pullout would begin in January 2025. There were almost 600 French troops in Ivory Coast. His announcement follows that of other leaders across West Africa, where France's militaries are being asked to leave. France has suffered similar setbacks in several West African countries in the recent years, including Chad, Niger, and also Burkina Faso, where French troops that have been on the ground for many years were kicked out. Zimbabwe has officially abolished death penalty, a widely expected move in a country that last carried out the punishment nearly 2 decades ago. President Emerson who once faced death penalty himself in the 1960s during the War of Independence, approved the law this week after a bill was passed through the parliament. There were almost 60 prisoners on death row, and now new law will spare them all. Amnesty International described the law as a beacon of hope for the abolitionist movement in the region. Other African countries such as Kenya, Liberia and Ghana have recently taken such positive steps towards abolishing death penalty but are yet to put it into law. Three men dove off Rome's 18-meter-high Cavo Bridge to keep the New Year tradition alive, which dates back to 1946. This year's event started with Maurizio Polmulli, who started the tradition again in 1989. He's known as Mr. OK. The torch was passed to Marco Foyce, who is another veteran diver. He even officially decided to hang up the swimming suit and announce his retirement as a diver. Foyce showed off a spectacular jump, preceded by two other divers, Walter Shearer and also Simone Carabella. The three were plucked off Tiber's waters by a team of firefighters standing just under the bridge on a dinghy boat. The divers said that they wanted to keep the tradition alive and they will try their best to keep it alive till they can. Welcome back, viewers. Let's tell you what's happening in the world of sports from Australia to India. Here are the top sports stories that we're tracking. Former Australian captain Michael Clarke believes Rohit Sharma has earned the right to decide on his future in the Test team, citing that one gets a little bit more leeway when the person is the skipper of the team. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese met the Indian and Australian teams ahead of the fifth and final test of the ongoing Border Gavaskar Trophy between the two sides. Former Indian batter Vinod Kambli was discharged from a private hospital at Bhiwandi in Thane district after undergoing treatment for nearly 2 weeks. India's pace spearhead Jasprit Bumrah shattered spin stalwart Ravichandran Ashwin's all-time rating point record by an Indian in the latest ICC rankings when he touched the 907-point mark. A senior BCCI official hinted that if the performance doesn't improve, even India coach Gautam Gambhir's position wouldn't be safe. Now it's time for us to take a look at the top trending stories from the world of entertainment. Punjabi singer and actor Diljit Dosanjh met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Delhi on New Year's Day. The meeting came after Diljit concluded a successful Dilluminati India tour, which concluded with a spectacular show in Ludhiana on New Year's Eve. Diljit presented Prime Minister Modi with the official poster of the Illuminati tour. He took to social media to share the glimpse of their meeting and called it a fantastic start of the year 2025. PM Modi reciprocated Diljit's sentiments and appreciated his ability to blend tradition with talent. Both of them discussed music and culture during their meeting. National broadcaster Doordarshan aired the 4K restored version of Shyam Benegal's film Manthan as a tribute to the veteran filmmaker. Benegal was known as the pioneer of the parallel cinema movement in Indian cinema during the 1970s and 80s. He passed away on the 30th of December due to chronic kidney disease at the age of 90. Kannada actor Shivraj Kumar expressed his gratitude to his family and fans for their well wishes after successfully undergoing cancer treatment. He took to social media and shared a video for his fans as he reflected on his recovery. He admitted that even before his diagnosis, he had been fearful, but the unwavering support of his family and medical team gave him the strength to fight the battle. Quote unquote, it ends with us. Director Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times for libel over its story on allegations that he sexually harassed actor Blake Lively. The lawsuit seeking at least $150 million was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court. It alleges that Times and Lively coordinated a smear campaign against Baldoni and his 9 fellow plaintiffs. Meanwhile, the Times stood by its reporting and said it plans to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. The plaintiffs include the film's lead producer Jamie Heath, its production company Wayfarer Studios, and also crisis communications expert Melissa Nathan, among others. Hollywood actress Kate Beckinsale took to social media platform Instagram to share her harrowing experiences of working in the industry. The actor shared numerous dark episodes during her growth as an actor. This comes in after Blake Lively's allegations against her co-star Justin Baldoni for allegedly sexually harassing her. Lively's lawsuit has prompted several women to speak out against the mistreatment received by them in the film industry. The Pearl Harbor and Underworld star also revealed that she was once forced to do a photo shoot soon after suffering a miscarriage. The 51-year-old actor stressed the need for everyone's grievances to be acknowledged and taken seriously, even in every industry, and not punished when something egregious happens to them at work. Well, viewers, that's all we could pack for you in this edition of Quick Morning. Stay tuned for all the live and breaking news updates on the other side.